Okay, do a quick how-to of how to do the Takegawa slipper clutch. These are the directions that come with it. I can't read anything on there except for torque specs. I can look at pictures pretty well, but that didn't really help me at all. So take your stock clutch pack off and get rid of it. Take the basket, obviously we're going to need that again. And then your Takegawa slipper clutch parts. The actual slipper clutch only goes on one way. You can see how it sits on there nice and even. If you put it on upside down, it's pretty obvious it's not going to sit right. So get that put together. Your clutch discs and plates, obviously if they're new, make sure you soak them in oil, however the manufacturer specifies. Easiest thing to do is take the outer hub of the slipper clutch and get everything lined up on here first, so it's sitting on there nicely. These are the two washers that come with the slipper clutch. We're going to need those, and the bigger inner OEM washer. The smaller Takegawa washer will be when we put it all together at the end. We'll get to that in a minute, but take your outer hub and place it together with the rest of the slipper clutch. And the only thing that I gathered from the directions was make sure that the Takegawa logos line up when you put it together. It's kind of tricky. Good Lord. Okay, try again. Logo on top, logo on top. I'm going to take the bigger Takegawa washer that comes with the kit and place it on the slipper itself. It's pretty obvious where that goes. Once again, logo on top, logo on top. Place them together so the pack is nice and tight. There's no gaps anywhere. If it's not seated right, it's gonna look something like that. You got something wrong. Just retrace and start over is usually the easiest thing to do there. Take your basket. You're gonna take the OEM washer, put it right in the middle there. Use your index finger to kind of hold it in place as you slide the pack in. This can be kind of tricky. You just rotate the pack to get it to slide in there, and you're good to go. Once the pack is, we'll call it assembled, it's still kind of loose and wonky, but that is right. It doesn't seem like it, but it is. You can see that the OEM washer is still in there. Just keep your index finger in there so it doesn't go screaming off to where you can't reach it. Go ahead and throw this on the bike. So there are two OEM bushings. We still need both of those. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I like to take that smaller outer bushing and throw it in the clutch pack. It just seems to slide together nicer. Once you get that slid in there, you just kind of start to wiggle this into place. Once you get these two gears lined up, you just kind of rotate your clutch pack to get it to slide back in to where these two splines line up. That's where the other Takegawa washer comes in. It says this side out. It's a domed washer. I'm gonna put that washer on. Take your OEM clutch nut, get that torqued down. I believe it's 47 foot-pounds. It can be kind of a pain in the ass to get on there, but torque that down to 47 foot-pounds. Once you get your clutch nut torqued down, you're ready to put the springs and spring plate on. One thing to mention that I didn't do the first time, and I have forgotten to do many times that I've taken this apart, is this oil catch. Make sure you put that on at the same time you put the clutch pack on, because you can't take that off or put that on once the pack is on. And it's a real pain. Once you torque this down, you have to take it apart, and put it back together again. Alright, we're going to put the springs and spring plate on. And really my whole reason for doing this video, again because one didn't exist, I broke the first spring plate, which is high quality cast garbage, and you can't buy just a spring plate, so that was a $170 mistake. You have to buy a whole new slipper clutch to get that. So take your clutch springs, get them on the studs. Helps if you have a friend, help hold them in place. I don't have any, so you just have to struggle through it. Take the bearing out of the Takegawa parts bag, set it into your spring plate, you're ready to go. What I found is easiest is to just hold the spring plate on there and get everything situated and get a couple screws started. Make sure your springs are where they need to be, and then get the other screws in and start torquing them down. Once you get your two screws set, all your clutch springs are somewhat seated where they need to be. Get the other screws started. Don't torque anything down yet. That is apparently where I made the mistake that this cracked on me, so don't do that. Don't mind these other screws, those are from my new kit. It somehow got mixed in with these. So once you get all these with basically zero torque on them, starting to pull the whole plate in, double check all your springs again, make sure they're still where they need to be, and then start doing the star pattern like you're taking a wheel off of a car. What I was doing was about half a turn, and just keep doing that until you get them, we'll call them tight, to where they won't turn anymore. Okay, now that these are all snug, again we've done this in the star pattern the whole way around, put even pressure on that plate as we're tightening it up. These are all snug. Go ahead and torque them down. Spec calls for 9 foot-pounds. And again, just to do that in a star pattern, make sure we're torquing it down evenly. Helps if it's in gear, keep the crank from spinning freely. I can't count real well. That should be all 6 of them. If you want, just for good measure, after you get all 6 of them, just go back around and double check. Make sure they're all torqued to spec. That should pretty much do it. Once you put your oil catch back on and torque it down, put your clutch cover back on. You're gonna have to adjust your clutch cable big time. Mine's almost at the end there. Just adjust it to your liking, and that's pretty much it.